here at One Run HQ, we got Sade here, presenter, actress. What I really, really love about you though is the energy you had. The video you put up on Instagram was my absolute favorite. I think when it came through, I just put it on repeat and just watched it time and time again to kind of try to absorb some of your incredible energy.
Thank you so much. That means the world to me. I've always been told that I'm a high energy person. So the fact that I still am and you can feel it, that means the world.
Right away, as soon as this video started, it radiates from the screen. It's absolutely lovely. So tell me a little bit about what's kind of led you into getting involved in One Run Global. What's your background that's kind of taken you to think that this is a cool idea to get part of? Because you're a huge name.
Well, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Well, I mean, basically, first of all, the fact that it is a global run, that this is one run. I'm all about one love. I'm all about people globally coming together for the greater good of mankind. And the fact that this is one run that is happening around the world. Throughout the day, and every 7 o'clock in every single part of the world. It was at 197 countries, all for one purpose, which is to make sure that every child just has their basic human rights. That is what spoke to me more than anything else, because that is what I believe in. I believe in every human having their rights to clean water, rights to love who they want, rights to a roof over their head, rights to freedom of speech. So that's what attracted me to it. I was just like, that's amazing. Why wouldn't I want to be a part of this?
Man, you are so good. Yeah, I mean, it's 195 different countries. You've got runners in every single one of them. And to be quite honest, we set out a good few months ago thinking like, is this possible? And then and we're just this idea that we're all made up of 1 trillion cells plus, and like that we're all so similar. So any of these tiny differences amongst us should be celebrated in as much fashion as we possibly can. And we breaking down barriers, trying to get people having conversations. I mean, unity, togetherness. What we're nothing on our own, but when we all come together, we are infinite. We can create whatever we want, and that's
that's it. That's what it is. Do you know what I mean? It's 100%. That's it. And I think you're going to have some naysayers regardless of anything. But if we look at what this year has provided for us in general, with so many movements, and then of course the virus, we can see what we can do when we all come together. For that united word, for that united feeling, we can see what we can do. So I don't understand if anybody out there is like, oh no, I don't want to. I'm like, why would you not want to? Look at what we can do if we all come together as humans on the planet. It's amazing.
Yeah, and like every human is incredible. We're capable of so much more than we think and imagine we're capable, and that's one of the reasons I really love running, because it's a real great example. You kind of set out thinking you're only capable of one thing, and then within a few weeks of doing a little bit of running, you've already learned that, oh wow, my limit doesn't lie there, and it lies way beyond it. And then you can bring that back at home, put that inside you, and just think, okay, so that's the situation. I can use that same methodology, that same rationale to look at my relationships, my work, my passion for life. What we can all step past all these barriers, and we can do incredible things. And just like this wouldn't have happened if the running community hadn't all come together and been going out to every single person they knew to try and get them involved. There's no way we could do that as a 3-people team. So the whole thing is
that,
yeah, well, we've done it. Like everyone who's involved, like every single runner has paved that way for this to actually happen. And that in its own right is just such an eye-opener, I think.
Yeah, 100%. And I think it's amazing that so many people are partaking, whether they are avid runners or not. I think it's amazing that so many people are participating and being a part of this one run globally.
Yeah, and there's loads of people who aren't avid runners. There's people that are just getting involved because it's a global movement, and
Yeah.
they want to feel part of. You know, we've had this whole year where we've been like torn apart by so many different things, and then this opportunity to just finish it in December on Human Rights Day together with each other. I think that's touched a lot of hearts, actually.
Yeah, definitely.
So let's talk a little bit about you. I know you were a child prodigy, and you kind of just got into TV and things, and you kind of made a massive splash, and from there you've just gone on to infinite levels. What's kind of, were you always thinking you were going to work in TV, or?
No, I didn't, to be honest. Because as you say, I started in television when I was a kid, when I was really, really young. So in my head, I was going to be like a doctor. Actually, I wanted to be a ninja because I was obsessed with Bruce Lee. But I then had to think of a real career. So I was going to be like a doctor or something random like that. And that didn't end up happening. I just ended up continuing working in television. So it just happened.
You would make an amazing ninja. You're maybe not too quiet though. I suspect probably you wouldn't be able to sneak up on anyone because you'd be laughing or you'd be like giggling about something along the way.
Listen, I to be honest, when I have to be quiet, I'm really good at being quiet. So.
Oh, okay, good. And you does that looking back on those times, does it fill you with, does it all fill you with joy and thankfulness that you didn't take that path to be a doctor, or are there like little parts of you that feel that would have been a nice thing to do?
Do you know what? I think, everything happens for a reason. I'm thrilled that I ended up being in this industry and continue being in this industry. I love entertaining people. I love talking, clearly. I love playing different characters. I love meeting different people along the way. It would have been great to have been a doctor, but I was absolutely terrible at maths and biology. So it wouldn't have happened anyway.
Right, yeah, so it's probably a good thing then.
Yes, exactly. It is a good thing. Rather have me learn lines, speak to a camera, then I'm good.
And so you're this little pocket rocket with so much energy that it's like you can actually see it in your hand movements, everything. It's just like there's so much there. What would be what's your natural go-to to use up that energy when you're kind of, if you're kind of thinking I've got to go to sleep at some point tonight, how am I going to use up that energy? Is running one of those things, or is it one of many? Or
to be honest, running is one of those things. I've always had a love-hate relationship with running. So I used to run a lot in when I was younger. I did races, I did relays, I did 100 meters, I did cross country, I did all of that. And then I kind of hurt my knees for a bit, so I had to stop running, and kind of got into yoga to strengthen all the muscles again and all of that, and then got back into running again. So I dip in and out of my running, but it is perfect for me to get rid of that extra energy that I do have, 100%. But also it does give me a lot of energy on top of it. So I have to kind of find the right balance. And then yoga ends up being that kind of balance for me, just being able to calm everything down.
And do you do meditation as well alongside that, or?
I do.
Do you do any particular type?
Not really. There's so many out there when it comes to meditation. I think, I try all of them. I've tried transcendental meditation. I've tried quite a few different ones, but to be honest, for me, it's just about sitting down and quieting the mind and connecting with my breath and connecting with my soul and my spirit and the higher power. And whatever that looks like on the day is just basically what I do.
Yeah, super cool. I was definitely the same. I think probably the same as you as a child, like super mega hyperactive, and still now it's like I have to do things, otherwise I explode. And meditation's just been one of those things that I try and get into as often as possible. I kind of dip in, and then you stay there for a while, and you're loving it, and then you fall out, and then you're out, aren't you? It's the same with everything, isn't it? Same with running. When you're into running, you're into it.
Yes, exactly. It is exactly the same.
And tell me about the kind of more of the activistic, doing the activism and the things you're doing to help inclusivity and justice and equality.
Well, yeah, I mean, I always look back and think I have a platform. It may not be, it may not show on the actual screens on whatever that it's millions of people, but there is a following and there is a reach. And I just think if I have this platform and I believe in all of these things, it would be silly of me not to use my platform to speak about the things that matter. And for a very long time, mental health awareness has been very close to my heart because I suffer from depression, and being a young child star and being this bubbly personality that you know that you've mentioned, people never understood that. They were like, how could you be depressed when you're this happy bubbly person that we see all the time on TV? And I had to speak out about it a bit more and do a lot more activism and awareness around it, being like, just because this is who I am, it doesn't mean that I don't suffer from depression either. So I've spent many years talking about mental health wellness, and then that just kind of it just kind of moved on from there, because then I came out, so then automatically I started speaking about LGBTQ rights and equality. And I've always worked closely with children charities, so then I always talk about children's rights. So it just, anything that I feel that is important to me, and I feel that I want the world to know about, and I want the world to come together to kind of like think about this issue or talk about this issue or do something about this issue. I use my platform for it, and it's, for me, it's a no-brainer. And it's weird because last year somebody called me an activist, and I've never seen myself as an activist. I'm just a person who cares, and I have a platform, and I hope that people listen. So
Yeah.
it's what I do.
Yeah, it's quite interesting, isn't it? Just a person that cares, and so someone
Yeah.
gives you a label. It's like, I'm just a person that cares, and that's
Yeah, exactly. Because to me, and maybe that's just because I think it's all changing now. To me, an activist was a person who, put marches together, went and stood outside Parliament with like signs being like, we don't want this or we don't do that. And it's not to say that I don't attend marches and that I have, but I'm not the person who organizes them. So I don't see myself as the activist. So
yeah.
I think having a label like that just kind of made me go, oh, I don't know if I'm in that category, because there are many activists out there who literally knock on Parliament's doors, and I don't think I've ever knocked on a door before.
Yeah.
But I will continue talking about things that matter.
Yeah, really, really cool. And and like you say, you've got this platform, and there's so much more power where you are right now than potentially you could have on the street, because you can reach so many people, which is the the amazing beauty and the power of the position you're in. And the fact that you're using it for good is testament to who you are inside.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I could be, yeah. So it's definitely more than selfies and look at what I did today. We have to use our
That's
platform
very
to
clear.
more than that. Yeah.
So one last thing I want to ask you before we head off is, obviously there's all the runners. There's thousands of runners all over the world right now.
Yeah.
Getting ready, preparing themselves for their run. Give them one piece of wise advice.
Wise advice. Oh wow, you're putting me on the spot. I think, firstly, what I want to say to all the runners out there is thank you for being a part of this. I think it's amazing that we've all come together to run globally for something that really matters, and we're showing that every human matters and every human's amazing. So firstly, thank you for that. Secondly, I think the only wise words that I want to give you is carry on. You're already doing something absolutely amazing. So absolutely carry on, and don't take any prisoners. I always say that. So I always say, when I start the day, I'm like, make sure you don't take any prisoners today.
Wow, you are great. Thank you so much.